of God, dear ones, is the first portal one must enter in order to progress in the right direction on the spiritual path. You must be willing to surrender your human ego and human personality to the will of God, to be refined and transformed into the divine, to walk your true spiritual path. Divine will is the first portal. There are 6 others you must also qualify for before you can reach the door of the 5th dimension for your planetary ascension. To go through this first portal, it is highly recommended that you take my classes on the inner planes, while your body sleeps, or those from my co-workers of the will of God. You must pass my tests in your waking state before you can move on to the next portal. Many of you reading this have already moved through this first portal in this life or in the past, and some of you have passed through other portals as well. We deplore the fact that a large percentage of humanity is still living their lives on automatic pilot. They have no idea where they are going, why they are incarnated on Earth, nor do they want to find out. They live their lives from day to day, with no conscious direction, their minds and hearts scattered to the 4 winds, following the path of least resistance in spiritual slumber. On the threshold of such a monumental event, one that humanity has been waiting and longing for hundreds of thousands of years, there are still too many precious souls who have not presented themselves to the Council of Light at the entrance to the portal of which I am in charge. I, and my co-worker Adama, along with several others, are joining together to see if we can give you one more wake-up call. If you have not yet made it to the portal of the will of God, we want you to know that it is still possible to catch up and pass through the other portals on time if you choose to do so. There is no more time for procrastination. You must awaken now and earnestly apply spiritual laws in all aspects of your life, living by the concepts of love from day to day. Be willing to embrace the truth that you have cleverly avoided. Become the God that you are, right now, by becoming love in action in all you think, say and do. Love is the only shortcut you can use in your ascension process. It is the great key, love of self, love of God and love for all the earth kingdoms. Love and honor all that breathe the life of the Creator. With enough love in your heart, you can make it through all the portals to the ascension door. On time. Be assured it will not happen for those who continue to live their lives on automatic pilot. All who arrive at the ascension door will have to pass the 7 initiations in order to acquire the codes of entry and qualify for planetary ascension. Each one of those 7 initiations has 7 levels of testing. It used to take 7 negation arrow lifetimes of diligent application of the spiritual laws to be able to pass through one or more of those initiations. At this very unique time in Earth history, there is an unprecognition-indented dispensation by which each soul, with serious and diligent application, can accomplish this in a few years. 𝐈𝐓'𝐒 shall be there, as the Peter you are familiar with, along with the rest of the spiritual hierarchy and your loved ones to welcome every one of you back home. I am your eternal friend, 𝐈𝐓'𝐒. Channel, Aurelia. Here in the non-physical realms our joy is growing as we observe the power of your love flowing through the collective awakening process as it unfolds so perfectly, precisely as Mother/Father/God intends, to bring you all into full awareness of your true nature at one with and eternally in the presence of our ever-loving Father. Love is. And you are becoming more and more aware daily that there is no other reality than this. Hold firmly to your faith in the infinite power of love, and remind yourselves regularly that you do know this, even though you cannot be unaware of the vast number of places on your beautiful planet where this most definitely does not seem to be true. But, truly, there is only love. Anything else is unreal and is in fact dissolving or disintegrating from the egoic aspects of your minds as you turn more and more frequently to the true knowing of your hearts. God is with you always, and you are beginning to feel her presence more and more frequently as you go within, to your holy inner sanctuaries, and invite her to fill your hearts with the warmth and complete acceptance of her love for each and every one of you. Keep on doing this. It is a very effective and powerful awakening tool, and an essential part of your awakening process. As I have often told you, you all incarnated to be. Being is extremely effective and potent. You knew that to focus on doing this would be the best way for you to assist in humanity's collective awakening process, and your main pre-incarnational intent was to assist. Your egos are constantly attempting, often rather too skillfully, don't underestimate this, to distract you from your true life purpose by fully engaging you with obtaining the essential requirements of material life, food, shelter, and clothing, for yourselves and for those who depend on you. Nevertheless, your awakening process is intensifying and unstoppable because for you all to awaken is God's divine and most loving intent, and therefore you are awakening. There is no other option. You are eternally in the presence of Mother/Father/God, and she is nudging you, now, and now, and now, towards full and complete wakefulness. Trust your Mother, her will is always in your best interests, and is most carefully designed to deliver to each of you personally exactly what you desire and need, namely your full awareness and the resultant joy of just being. As you reside permanently in her loving presence, where you are enthusiastically and happily at home. Life is love, the eternal state of being in which you were created, and the moment when you lay your bodies to rest, and in doing so thank them for their loving service, is but a transition back into the awareness of the state of reality in which you have your eternal existence. To be incarnate as a human in form is an extremely short-term experience, an experience you chose to undergo in order to greatly assist in humanity's awakening. As you know from your world history, humanity's presence on Earth is something that happened very recently when compared to the age of your planet, or of the universe. Because of the limitations that being in form imposed upon them, they were only able to conceive of and invent an authoritarian figure, such as a father who would obviously demand their subservience and obedience, rather like, but seemingly much more impressive and powerful than any male family or tribal leader they had experienced in their own lives. Over time, various tribes and cultures established their own imaginary god figures and invented a set of dogmatic rules that he demanded that they honor and obey. Or else. Your collective choice to awaken is as a result of your growing awareness of the power of love and of your growing realization that only love is real, that it is God. And in that awareness you have of course realized that love is totally accepting and totally without judgment. Mother/Father/God has been waiting patiently for this awareness to arise and flourish within you all. There have been previous moments when this realization almost occurred, but now, finally, it is firmly established, and so your collective awakening is assured. It has always been divinely assured, but now it is coming to its most amazingly beautiful fruition. For the mass of humanity to once more know and recognize that there is only the one, Mother/Father/God, which includes, without exception, every sentient conscious and aware being in divine union with itself for all eternity, is an experience of ceaseless immortality and infinite peace and joy. Knowing that, while you are still experiencing the temporality of physical life in form, is bringing to each of you, as your awareness strengthens and intensifies, comfort and the kind of revelation you have heard of but most likely never yet experienced. As I have said before, humanity is on a roll. Focus your attention as often and as intently as you can on reality, on love, because doing so powerfully strengthens your awareness of your oneness with it. Whatever you have been experiencing as humans in form has been, as your egos have always intended, very effective in distracting you from regularly taking the necessary quiet time to allow yourselves to access your deep inner knowing of the reality of who you truly are. You do know who you are, but your experiences as humans growing up in a culture that demands, even if very gently, your acceptance of it and engagement with it, have very frequently led you, even encouraged you, to feel unworthy, incompetent and ashamed of yourselves. Those feelings are utterly and completely invalid. Do not compare yourselves to others. You are each totally unique expressions of God, shining examples of differentiated beings inseparably in union with her. Her will for you is that you be fully and completely yourselves, and thus expressing her as only you can. And your individual will is in complete alignment with hers when you allow yourselves to be true to yourselves, and it is why you experience stress and confusion when others demand that you conform to a set of arbitrary rules instead of just being the creative expressions of God's love that you each are. What you truly want for yourselves is always also the divine will. Be yourselves. Your loving brother, Jesus. Channel, John Smallman.